like them native foes poking out the side. Jump my deuce up to the sky as I continue to swing real wide. Swing real wide. Swing real wide. Real wide.
So you want to become an expert at shooting dice. Well, this video is going to take you to that next level. So this is part 3 on how to shoot dice. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, I'm going to need you to go to my channel and watch those before continuing this video. Because without that information, it's going to be difficult for you to understand what I'm trying to teach you today. Okay, so now we're going to talk about side bets. And we're going to get a little deep into it, so pay close attention. So you can take as many side bets each game as you want. If you feel like you can handle multiple side bets, then by all means go for it. Just make sure to remember your numbers because that is your responsibility. If you forget your numbers, you will lose your money. There is no sympathy in the dice game. So in part 2, I showed you how to make side bets based off of your point number. This was to avoid complicating things for the beginner level shooter. But now that you're becoming an expert, it's time to upgrade your knowledge and skill set. So your side bet does not always have to be based on your point number. Although a lot of people make side bets based off the point due to the odds since the number was already rolled one time. So that looks something like this. Okay, so say I'm the shooter. So say I put my money up, Peter Panda puts his money up, and we get to rolling. Okay, 8. That's an 8. So in part 2, I taught you how to make a 6 and 8 side bet if your point was an 8. So let's do that to refresh our memory. So say I put $20 up for a 6-8 side bet. And Gengar accepts that. He wants some action, so he puts up $20 for a 6-8 side bet. That means I have to hit either a 6 or an 8 before I hit a 2, a 3, a 12, a 7, or an 11 to win this side bet money. So let's see what happens. That's a 6. That means I would have won my side bet. And the initial bet still stays in play because I haven't hit my point yet. Alright, so now I'm going to show you some new ways to make side bets. So say for example, I put my money up and Tommy decides he wants to match me for the initial bet. Okay, so we get to rolling. Okay, that's a 6. So instead of only calling for a 6 and 8 side bet, I can call for any side bet that I want. All my side bet options are available at any time after I establish my point. So that means not only could I call a 6 and 8 side bet, I could also call a 5-9 side bet, or I could call a 10-4 side bet if I choose to, or I can accept a 5-9 side bet, or a 6-8 side bet, or a 10-4 side bet. So my point is 6, but say I call for a 5-9 side bet. So I say, okay, I put $10 up for a 5-9 side bet. So say Gengar wants to take that side bet. He wants to take the 5-9 side bet. So he matched the money I put up, and now I got a side bet over here for 5-9, and my initial bet is for my point, which is a 6. So let's see what happens. That's an 8. That doesn't mean anything. That's a 6. That's my point. So that means I win my point money, but this side bet is still in play. So I still either have to hit a 5 or a 9 to win this side bet, or if I crap out, I lose this side bet. So that's a 9. So that means I win my side bet money over here. And the dice are still mine, and I continue shooting. Okay, so now we're going to take it a step further. So you can make as many side bets as you want before you 7 out for your initial point bet. So let me show you what that looks like. Now remember, this may get a little bit confusing because you're going to be juggling a few side bets at one time, but it's very possible to do this successfully. So say I put up $20 for my initial point bet. Peter Panda says he wants to match that. So I have an initial point bet established. So let's start this game and see what happens. So that's a 5. So 5 is my point. So say for example, I want to call for a 6-8 side bet. So say I put $30 up for a 6-8 side bet. And Gengar decides, okay, he wants to take that 6-8 side bet. So he's going to match my $30 and put up his 30. So now I have a 6-8 side bet. And I also have a bet for my point, which is a 5. So these are the two things that I'm betting on right now. So let's keep going. All right, so that's a 4. So say I want to take another side bet. Say I want to take a 5-9 side bet. And I put $20 out there for a 5-9 side bet. Who wants to match me for a 5-9 side bet? So Tommy says he wants to match for a 5-9 side bet. So now I have a 5-9 side bet, a 6-8 side bet, and my point is a 5. So now I'm forced to remember all these different numbers and all these craps. So the craps for the 6-8 side bet are 7, 11, 2, 3, and 12. The craps for the 5-9 side bet are only 7, 11. And the craps for my point bet, which is a 5, are only 7. So remember, 7 kills all bets, 11 kills side bets, and for 6 and 8, you got to watch out for a few more crap numbers. So let's see what happens. So that's a 5. So that means I win this point bet. I win this side bet for a 5-9 side bet because I hit my 5 without crapping out. And this 6 and 8 side bet still stays in play. So let's see what happens. That's an 8. So I win this side bet money because I hit an 8. So that's how you successfully manage multiple side bets. And personally, I don't like doing that because it's so much for me to remember. But y'all might have better memories than I do. So good luck with that. Alright, so now I'm going to introduce another side bet to you guys. Alright, so this one's called the hard way. So you can hit 4 or a 6 or an 8 or a 10 the hard way. So the definition of a hard way is these numbers are going to be hit in pairs of the same number. So for example, if I said I wanted to take a side bet for 4 the hard way, this is how I'm going to have to hit 4 to win 4 the hard way. Let me show you how I'm going to have to hit 6. A 3 and a 3. That's how I hit 6 the hard way. A 4 and a 4 is how I hit 8 the hard way. And you guessed it. A 5 and a 5 is how I hit 10 the hard way. Alright, so the craps for losing this bet is either I 7 out before I'm able to hit my pair, or I hit the number the easy way. So the easy way just means that the number is not in doubles. It's not in the form of a pair. The easy way, each die will be a different number. So let's show an example of how this side bet will look. Okay, so that's an 8. So now we can call for an 8 the hard way side bet. So since I put up $40 for an 8 the hard way side bet, my opponent is going to have to put up double that. It's going to be easier for the opponent to win this bet, and it's going to be more difficult for the shooter to win this bet. So the shooter has to put up less money to win the bet, because chances are the opponent is always going to win this bet. So that does mean it's a risky bet, but if you win, you get way more money. So be careful when taking this bet. So my opponent is going to have to put up double. So since it's going to be an easy bet for Tommy, he's going to take it and put up double, because chances are I'm not going to be able to hit 8 the hard way before I 7 out, or before I hit 8 the easy way. So it's an easy $40 win for Tommy. So let's see what happens. So that's 5. That doesn't mean anything. That's 6. That doesn't mean anything. That's 9. That doesn't mean anything. That's 7. So that means I 7'd out. So first, I lose my initial point bet, and I also lose this money for the 8 the hard way bet because I 7'd out and was not able to hit 8 the hard way, which would be 4 and 4. So this bet easily goes to the opponent. So this is a great bet for opponents to take, but not so great for a shooter to take unless you're really just feeling yourself and you're on a roll and you got extra money to spare. I would not recommend taking this bet. Okay, so let me show you another quick example of a hard way bet since we're on the topic. So say I put up 20 for my initial point bet. Gengar decides he wants to match me. He puts up 20 for the initial point bet. So let's get to rolling. So that's a 4. So we might call for a 4 the hard way side bet. Okay, so I put $20 up for a 4 the hard way, and Peter Panda wants to take that. So he's gonna have to double. So he's gonna put 40 up to my 20 for a 4 the hard way. So in order for me to win this 4 the hard way, I have to hit a pair of 2s, which is gonna be very difficult, but let's see what happens. That's a 6. That doesn't mean anything. That's an 11. That doesn't mean anything. That's a 6. Doesn't mean nothing. That's a 12. Doesn't mean nothing. That's a 5. Doesn't mean nothing. That's a 4. So that is a 4 the easy way. So that's not a 4 the hard way. So a 4 the easy way is when each die has a different number. So I hit 4 the easy way before I was able to hit 4 the hard way. So I lose this money for 4 the hard way, but I win this money because 4 was my point. So I will win this initial point money over here. All right, boom. I put $20 up for a new game. Peter Panda matches my 20, and we get to rolling. Oh, that's a 6. So I'm gonna take 6 the hard way. Then meaning I have to hit doubles in 3 of 3. So I put $20 up. My opponent's gonna have to put double. So Gengar wants to take this bet. He's gonna put double for a 6 the hard way bet. So there it goes, 3-3. So I win this hard way bet because I was able to hit 3-3. And remember, this is very hard to do. So you gotta be a real lucky duck to do this. And I also win this point money over here because my bet was a 6. And it doesn't even matter how you hit the point bet, just as long as you hit it. Okay, so also remember when you're an opponent and you don't have the dice in your hand, you don't always have to constantly bet against the shooter. You can have your own side bets going with other opponents based on what the shooter rolls. So there can be multiple bets on the sideline that don't even involve the shooter's money that are in favor for the shooter or against the shooter. So let me show you what that looks like. So say I'm rolling over here and I'm rolling. Oh, 7. Boom. Put my money back up. Peter Panda wants to match. I get the dice back in my hand. I'm rolling. I'm doing my thing. Whoop. 7. Busting. Oh. Put my money back up. $20. Gengar wants some action. Boom. Get the dice back in my hand. I hear Peter Panda and I hear Tommy over there snickering. They're whispering. They're talking down on me saying, oh, he hit 7 2 times in a row. I bet he can't do it again. And Tommy's like, I bet he can. I bet he hit 7 again. So they put a $20 side bet against each other. Tommy betting in my favor that I'll be able to hit 7 again. And Peter Panda just doubting me because he's a hater. Let's see what happens. So they got their own side bet going. Boom, so I hit my 7. So Tommy was right. So Peter Panda loses that bet because I'm on a roll. I was able to hit my 7 again. So I win again, first roll. Tommy wins his side bet over here against Peter Panda. And Peter Panda was doubting me, saying I couldn't hit a 7 again. But I know what I'm capable of because I'm an OG in this dice game.
It ain't nothing like them native foes poking out the side. Jump my deuce up to the sky as I continue to swing real wide. Swing real wide. Swing.